You're listening to the British Baseball Podcast. Welcome, baseball family, to Around the Bases, the British baseball audio fanzine that showcases you, your team's results, and your league, and some news and some quizzes. Something that was given me as feedback from a SurveyMonkey quiz to get some trivia on. So let's have a bit of a from there. If you want to feature and get involved, you can submit short videos, voice messages to me via DM or email, britishbaseballpodcast@gmail.com. Saying who you are, who you play for, give us an overview of that weekend series, and let us know about all the action. We've had a lot of great news from rookies having great seasons so far, some no-hitters, and also this week we've had some birthday home runs. So why not give us some love and we'll share it on here. So let's start off with some news. If you have a look over on Facebook, the British Baseball Clubhouse, you can look there and find the Norwich Iceni. They've posted something interesting this week about Norfolk Baseball Local League, where they're looking for interested new players to go and give baseball a try in the southeast of England. There'll be a link in the show notes somewhere around. Well, there's no show notes to link on there, but you'll see them in the show notes. It's group.spond.com/YYFSJ in capitals, and it'll be 1 hour games played on a Saturday and Sunday morning from the 12th of September. And there's 4 teams: the West Norwich Rockets, North Norwich Bucks, South Norwich Stingers, and the Yarmouth Sea Dogs. This is a perfect opportunity for beginners and those looking for a new sport to try, so get in touch with them. The European Baseball League of Professional Baseball, or the ESPBL, have had to postpone their debut season due to administrative government backlogs across Europe, preventing the processing of statutory requirements and also global travel restrictions from the pandemic. So there'll be no British Knights this season, but we're still looking forward to the 2020 season. So we'll keep you posted of news and events as they unfold there. As mentioned before, Vince Warner hit a 3-run homer on his 60th birthday. So good skills, Vince. Hope we had a good one. And to finish this week's news, former podcast guest and GB Duke pitcher Richard Berreton has signed as an undrafted free agent to the Chicago Cubs. I'm sure we all wish him the best of luck with his pro career, and we'll monitor his progress and hopefully get him back on the show to share. So these are the results for Sunday, the 18th of July. As usual, each team's playing a double header that should last 7 innings, unless it's cut short due to a time limit or mercy rule, and the West Midlands Baseball League playing a 1-game series over a full 9 innings. And the standard, if you don't hear your team, it was either a bye week or there wasn't a game being played. So we're going to start off by some thanks to John McKellar of the Glasgow Comets and Ballcaps and Bagpipes Podcast for the Baseball Scotland scores, Matt Moran of the Legends Baseball Club and Ducks Across the Pond Podcast for getting me the BBF scores, the British Baseball Federation one. And a huge thanks to Gabriel Fidler of Extra Innings UK for the updated British Baseball League scores. Be sure to follow all of them on social media and check out all their content for more glorious baseball action. So we're going to start off north of the border in Scotland with John McKellar with the Scottish baseball results.
Hello again, Matt. This is John McKellar of Ballcaps and Bagpipes and the Glasgow Comets with your weekly Baseball Scotland roundup. It was a tough day for my Comets up north. We visited the Aberdeen Oilers and were beaten 12-8. Overall, a great game of baseball and a fun day at the ballpark. The Aberdeen Oilers took advantage of some very timely walks, got some big hits, and I think overall a good result for them and a fair one on the day. Back in Glasgow, the Galaxy were also defeated. It was the Edinburgh Diamond Devils who came out 13-3 victors in that game. Galaxy fall to 1-4, and the Edinburgh Devils take first place in the Scottish National League table with a 5-1 record. In Edinburgh, the Cannons defeated the Tayport Breakers 20-1. Kind of a surprise result, in my opinion, after the way that the bats were for Tayport last Sunday when we played them. So, bit of a setback, bit of a regression from Tayport, but overall, it's a pretty competitive league up here this year. Obviously, the truncated schedule makes every game count that much more. Exciting times ahead in the coming weeks. That's been your weekly Baseball Scotland roundup. Thanks, Matt. Back to you.
Thanks, John, for your knowledge and insight as always. Really appreciate it. Be sure, everyone, to check out Ballcaps and Bagpipes for more Scottish baseball action. And let's have a look now at the British Baseball Federation's NBL League. So we had the Hearts Falcons at Lancashire Legends, and it was an 11-1 win to the Legends. Big day at the plate for Travis Hatfield, who went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs, and Alex Deakin getting the win from the mound, 5 innings pitched and 6 strikeouts. Game 2, Hearts had an injured player and therefore had to forfeit the game. So that goes down to a 7-0 win for the Legend. We hope that the player there, who wasn't mentioned, gets well soon and speedy recovery. We've got London Capitals taking on the Essex Arrows, and it's the Arrows travelling to the Capitals. Game 1 saw a 13-3 win to the Capitals. An 8-run second inning put the game away for the Caps, with 8 of their hitters hitting .500 average or above in Game 1. And Game 2 saw another victory for the Capitals as they won that one 14-4. Game 2 saw Masa Hataguchi. He went 6 innings on the mound for the Caps and only allowed 4 runs, while the Caps lineup stayed hot with 14 hits and 14 runs scored. London Legends were at home to the London Mets, and it was a 14-0 win for the Mets in the first game. Tommy Flaherty and Jordan Edmonds combining on the mound for a no-hitter. Jamie Dix had 4 RBIs in that first game. Game 2 saw the Legends win 5-4. Legends went ahead with 3 runs in the first inning, but the Mets tying it in the fourth. And then Legends taking the lead again in the fifth, and the Mets tied up again in the seventh before the Legends walked off with a clutch single in the 8th inning from Lewis Dean. So a quick look then at the standings. London Capitals in first place with 19 wins and 2 losses. London Mets in second with 21 wins and 3 losses. Essex Arrows in third place with 11 wins and 12 losses and 1 tied game. Lancashire Legends in the 4th spot with 7 wins, 15 losses and no tied games. London Legends in the 5th spot with 4 wins, 14 losses, 1 tied game. And at the bottom, still looking for the first win, the Hearts Falcons with 0 wins and 16. On to AAA. On to AAA South, we have the Essex Arrows taking on the London Mammoths. And Game 1 went in favour of the Mammoths team as they won that one 11-7. RBIs from Arik Raviv, Brian Deering and Osvaldo Badia Rivero gave the Mammoths a lead in the 6th inning to win the game late on. And Game 2 going to the Essex side as they won that one 17-5. 12 RBIs from the Essex hitters, helping the Arrows get ahead early and stay ahead, with Wilson Porras scoring 3 runs for the Arrows in that second game. Bristol Badgers took on the Bournemouth Bears, and that was a 14-14 tied game. 23 hits in the game for both teams, with big performances from Doug Shriver and for Bristol, and Jose Lopez for the Bournemouth Bears. But Game 2 will go in favour of the Bears, with 4 singles in the third to give Bournemouth the lead, and they never relinquished the lead from there as they took that one 9-6. Let's have a look then at the standings in AAA. We have AAA South. East London Latin Boys still showing on the top there with 9 wins and 4 losses. Essex Redbacks AAA with 10-6. And inside second place, the Arrows AAA with 10-6 too. 4th spot is London Marauders with 8-6. 5th spot is the London Mammoths with 8-8. Kent Buccaneers AAA are 2-9. And the Richmond Knights there at the bottom with 2-10. The AAA Southwestern Wales sees the Bournemouth Bears still on the top with 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 tied. Vetra in second spot with 8 wins and 4 losses. Southwest Rebellions with 4-6. And at the bottom, Bristol Badgers with 2 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tied game. So AA Central, we had the Norwich Iceni travelling to the Cambridge Monarchs. Game 1 saw the Norwich side win 7-6. And his Army Hutchinson, he had a great day to play, going for 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Norwich, while finishing the game pitching, only allowing 2 runs. And it would be Game 2 going 7-0 to Cambridge, unfortunately, because Norwich had to forfeit. So it was a default score. Oxford Kings taking on the Essex Archers, and it was 9-2 in favour of Oxford. Irving Galva Tapia had a good day at the plate, getting 2 hits and scoring 3 runs. But the Essex side were in Game 2, 11-9. Great comeback from the loss in Game 1 to score 6 runs in the top of the 7th to come all the way back from being behind all game. We have the London Musketeers welcoming the Guildford Mavericks. Game 1 saw the Musketeers win 11 runs to 4. Nathan Kettle gets the win from the mound with 6 strikeouts across 3 innings, and Tatsuya Sasaki had 3 RBIs in the top of the 5th and a home run to deep left field. Mavericks would take Game 2, 16 runs to 5. A 9-run 5th inning for the Mavericks forced a mercy rule after 2 doubles from Edgar Sibajon and Martin Vizier. Let's have a look then at the standings for the AA. AA Central sees the Milton Keynes Bucks at the top with 13 wins and 1 loss, 2 tied games. So that's a pretty similar record for the Cambridge Knights with 13 wins, 5 losses and 2 tied. Oxford Kings in 3rd spot with 10 runs, 6 losses. The Essex Archers AA with 8 wins and 10 losses, similar record to the tied Norwich Iceni for 4th spot with 8 and 10. And the Hearts Hawks at the bottom with 0 wins and 20 losses. AA South East sees the Sidewinders at the top with 18 wins and 2 losses. Croydon Pirates with 16 and 3. In 2nd spot, 3rd place is London Musketeers with 12 and 9. Guildford Mavericks in 4th place, 11 and 9. Richmond Dragons with 5 wins and 19 losses. And the East London Latin Boys AA side with 1 win and 21 losses. So have a look now at the single A. We have the London Mustangs taking on the Hearts Londoners, and it's the Mustangs being the home team. And they will take Game 1, 14 runs to 8. Francis Bell having a great game for the Mustangs with 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. There's no score for Game 2. And then let's have a look at London Minotaurs at home to the Essex Redbacks single A. And it'll be the Minotaurs that will take Game 1, 11 runs to 10. Daniel Weeks having a day at the plate for Essex, going 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs. But unfortunately, wasn't enough with the Mustangs getting the winning run in the bottom of the 4th with a run scored by Ben Ward. Game 2 will see the Redbacks win 17-6. Redbacks scoring 5 runs in the 1st and the 2nd to take an early strong lead. And strong performances from Julian Roadbush helping Essex to win with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Western Jets took on the Bristol Bucks in Western, and it was, I don't know why my voice went so high then, 16 runs to 14 in favour of the Western Jets. The Jets only had 7 hits, but scored 16 runs in a very high-scoring affair. Josh William Trim really showed off at the bat with 4 hits, including a double for the Bucks. Game 2 also going to the Jets as they took that one 14 runs to 11, and the Bucks out-hitting the Jets again, but getting early leads with 13 walks. Bournemouth Bears single A hosting the Bristol Bats. Game 1 going 11 runs to 7 for the Bears. The Bats left fielder Billy Garrett went 3 for 3 with a triple, but the Bears take the win with Bears pitcher Marcus Senior going for 3 for 3 at the plate, 6 stolen bases while striking out 6 on the mound. Game 2 was a 23 run to 0 shutout for the Bats. Alex Brown for the Bats had 3 hits, 5 RBIs, and Paul Carter for the Bats also went 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs. Guildford Go Cats hosted the Brighton Brewers, and it was the Brewers that take Game 1, 13 runs to 6. Clutch hits at the top of the 2nd from Paul Bobb, Stephen Pollard, Gary Still, and Norbert Nusser, helping the Brewers put the game out of reach. And Game 2 also going in favour of the Brewers, with Gary Still having another great game with 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base, as that one goes 12 runs to 6. Guildford Millers at home to the Richmond Dukes. Dukes taking Game 1, 15 runs to 13 in a close game. 4 RBIs from Kiwi Helps and 3 RBIs from Michael Payne gave the Dukes enough runs to outlast the Millers in this slugfest. And then Game 2 also going in favour of the Dukes. Both teams had 9 hits in this game, but the Dukes were able to score more of those base runners, with 10 runs being scored in the top of the 4th by Richmond, as that one goes 14 runs to 11 to the Dukes. Brighton Jets at home to the Bracknell Inferno. Bracknell taking Game 1, 9 runs to 7, with Shad Davids, Bracknell's first baseman, went 3 for 4 to help the team take the win in a very close game. And Bracknell taking Game 2, 14 runs to 6. Pitois and Joe Williamson both went 3 for 4 and scored 3 runs each to push the game out to reach for the Fighting Jets. So one result to tell you here from the Bobcats game. There's no Niall this week with a video because on his stag do. Hope you had a great, safe time there, Niall. He said the Bobcats won 17 runs to 11 and 26 runs to 10 as they faced the Sea Dogs. Let's have a look then at the standings for the Single A. Single A Central, you see the London Mustangs at the top of the table with 18 wins, 2 losses. Essex Redbacks Single A in 2nd spot, 16 and 2. The Hearts Eagles 6 and 10, with the Hearts Raptors 4 and 7, Hearts Londoners 4 and 13, and London Minotaurs are bottom with 2 wins and 16 losses. Single A7, Cardiff Merlin still at the top with 9 wins, 0 losses. The Bournemouth Bears single A are 7 and 3. That's with the Bristol Bats with the same record, but the only difference there being that they've tied 1, and the Bristol Brunels at 4th spot with 5 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie game. Single A South, Brighton Brewers at the top there with 16 runs and 2 losses, with Guildford Goldcats in 2nd spot, 12 wins and 8 losses. Bradford Inferno are 10 and 8, with Brighton Jets in 4th spot, 9 and 9. Richmond Dukes occupying the 5th spot with 3 and 10 and 1 tied game, and the Guildford Millers in the 6th spots with 3 wins, 16 losses, and 1 tied game. Single A South East, Tonbridge Wildcats are 9 wins and 5 losses. Kent Mariners in 2nd place with 6 and 4. Kent Buccaneers single A team in 3rd place with 4 and 4. Tonbridge Bobcats are 5 and 7 in 4th spot, and tied for 5th at the bottom, South Coast Sea Dogs and South Coast Pirates, with the Sea Dogs losing 4 games and the Pirates only losing 2. Single A Wessex sees the Taunton Muskets with 4 and 4. Western Jets are 4 and 6. Cornish Clay Cutters are 3 and 6, and the Bristol Bucks are 0 and 12. So let's have a look now at the British Baseball League. Again, thanks to Gabriel for all this information. So we're going to have a quick review of the scores since it began the 6th of June. Week 1, Manchester A's travelled to Liverpool Trojans, and that was the Liverpool Trojans winning game 1 24 runs to 2, and game 2 they won 16 runs to 4. The Sheffield Bruins travelled to Cartmel, and game 1 went 13 runs to 12 in favour of Cartmel. And then the Bruins split in the series 11 runs to 1. Week 2, on the 13th of June, saw Liverpool Trojans travelling to the Sheffield Bruins, and they would split that series with a win each, with Liverpool Trojans taking the first one 11 runs to 2, and it would be the Bruins winning 9 runs to 4. And the Manchester A's game against Cartmel was postponed until July. Week 3, on the 27th of June, saw Liverpool at home to Cartmel, and it would be Liverpool Trojans winning 8 runs to 5 in game 1 and taking game 2 10 runs to 1. Sheffield Bruins would host the Manchester A's, and they would take both games with 16 runs to 7 in game 1 and 14 runs to 7 in game 2. But there'd be no fixtures played on the 4th of July, with Manchester's and Liverpool games being postponed. And similarly with the 11th of July. So let's have a quick look then at the standings where we have for the BBL AAA. Liverpool Trojans at the top there with 5 wins and 1 loss. And then we have the Sheffield Bruins there with 4 and 2. Cartmel Valley Lions at 1 and 3. And Manchester A's 0 and 4. Let's go into the British Baseball League AA. In the Northern League, we have the Liverpool Trojans and the Newcastle Nighthawks and the County Durham Spartans with Sheffield Blade Runners. Week 1 would see the Liverpool Trojans winning 2-1 against Newcastle, and then it would be Newcastle Nighthawks winning 15 runs to 14 in the second game. Sheffield Blade Runners would take both of their games against the County Durham Spartans, with game 1 going 11 runs to 2 and 17 runs to 8 there in game 2. Week 2 would see Newcastle Nighthawks dominate the County Durham Spartans, with game 1 going 11 runs to 0 and game 2 going 21 runs to 6. Liverpool Trojans would face Sheffield Blade Runners 2, and it would take both those games as they sweep the series, 10 runs to 9 in game 1 and 18 to 11 in game 2. And then we have the 27th of June, week 3, Sheffield facing Newcastle, and it would be 7 apiece in game 1, but Sheffield Blade Runners would win 13 runs to 3 in game 2. Liverpool Trojans would face the County Durham Spartans and would sweep them in the series, 12 runs to 1 in game 1 and 17 runs to 2 in game 2. Head on to week 4, you have the Sheffield versus County Durham Spartans postponed, but Liverpool Trojans would take on the Newcastle Nighthawks, and it would be Liverpool that will win 15 runs to 3 and 11 runs to 3 in their series. Week 5 would just see one game there as Liverpool would take on Sheffield in Sheffield. And it'd be the Trojans that would win game 1 6 runs to 5, but Sheffield even out the series with 7 runs to 5 in game 2. Let's have a quick look then at the AA table. We've got the Trojans at the top with 8 and 2, followed by Sheffield Blade Runners with 4 wins, 1 loss, and 4 wins, 1 tied, and 3 losses. Newcastle Nighthawks with 3 wins, 1 drawn, and 4 losses, and County Durham Spartans still looking for their first win with a 0-6 record. And we go now to the BBL Single A Northern League. We have the Houghton Trojans against the Sheffield Cubs, and that was in week 1, with the Houghton side taking loss in their series as the Cubs win 9 runs to 6 and then 15 runs to 4 in game 2. Sheffield Blade Runners 3 will take on my Manchester Bees, and it will be called in 3 as the Bees lose 10 runs to 18. And then game 2 would also go to Sheffield Blade Runners 3 with 24 runs to our 15. I say our Manchester Bees. Sheffield Blade Runners 4 would face Hull, and it would be Hull at one game. Game 1, 8 runs to 2, and game 2, 17 runs to 7. Week 2 will see the Sheffield Cubs travel to Sheffield Blade Runners. It will be the Cubs winning 22-1 in game 1 and 31 runs to 1 in game 2. Sheffield's third team would go to Houghton to face the Trojans there, and they would win game 1, 14 runs to 16. And Sheffield 3 would also score 14 runs in game 2, but Houghton would go one better by winning it 15 runs to 14. Manchester Bees would travel to Hull to see the Scorpions in what was a great day of baseball. It was a really fun drive up there. Hull would take the series with 13 runs to 3 in game 1 and 19 runs to 18 in game 2, which was an infield home run that actually won that one. Great drama in that game. Week 3 would see an all Sheffield Blade Runners affair with a 4th string team winning both their games, 21 runs to 3, and the Blade Runners 4 beat Blade Runners 3, 18 runs to 6 in game 2. Week 4 was another Sheffield in-house affair with the Sheffield Blade Runners 2 taking on Sheffield Blade Runners 3. So glad I don't do this after a drink. 19 runs to 10 for the Blade Runners 3. And it would be the Blade Runners 3 that would take game 2 as well, 10 runs to 1. Hull Scorpions travel to Houghton Trojans, and they would take the series 16 runs to 7 in game 1 and 12 runs to 2 in game 2. And Sheffield Cubs traveling to Manchester as the Bees face the Cubs, and it'd be 29 runs to 2 for the Cubs, and then Manchester Bees would score 10 in game 2, but they wouldn't be able to beat the 17 runs scored by the Cubs. Only one game on the 4th of July weekend as Houghton travelled to Hull, and as a Hull team that win 19 runs to 2 in game 1 and 17 runs to 4 in game 2. 11th of July, which is week 6, only one game to talk about here, and there's Sheffield Blade Runners 4 going to Sheffield Cubs, and the Cubs sweeping the series 14 runs to 6 in the first game and 9 runs to 4 in game 2. So let's have a look then at the single A table. Our Manchester Bees are at the bottom with 0-6. Houghton Trojans are 1-7. Hull Scorpions in second place with 8-0, which is tied there at the top with the Sheffield Cubs. And the Sheffield Blade Runners teams are 5-3 and 2-4. So that's it from the British Baseball League. Looking now at the West Midlands Baseball League. Wolverhampton stretched their unbeaten win now to 5 with 17 runs to 2 against the Birmingham Metalheads. Worcester Sorcerers, where Andy Brown was at painting this weekend with the Leicester Blue Sox, went 9 runs to 8 to the Worcester Sorcerers. Telford Giants tied their game with Long Eaton Storm with 10 runs apiece. And that lets us look forward to a great weekend of baseball next week, with the Worcester Sorcerers going to the Metalheads, Telford Giants to the Blue Sox, Starbridge Titans back in action against the Long Eaton Storm. And unfortunately, that is all the action I've got to tell you about this week. So let's have a quick look now at the BSUK Player of the Week from last week. And Week 11's Baseball Player of the Week from BSUK is Kieran Helps from Guildford. Well done, Kieran. Let's have a chat soon if you want to, and let's talk about it. And don't forget, if you want to get your players nominated, to see a lot of posts on Twitter and Instagram with everyone showing love for their player of the game, go to BSUK's website, baseballsoftballuk.com/player of the week. Or if you look on my link tree on my Twitter profile, there's a link there. It's one of the top links there. It'll take you straight to their page and get your players nominated. So here comes your bit of trivia for your questions. There's nothing to win here, just bragging rights. So 1938 saw the very first amateur baseball World Series played in Britain as Britain took on the United States. It took place in 5 different cities across England. Can you name all 5 of them? And the answer will be revealed next week. You get bonus points if you can tell me the stadiums as well. Right, so that's it for this week. Have a great week. Train hard, stay safe. It is El Scorcho. I'm going to go play some Stardew Valley on the Switch, not a sponsor, because it's almost winter and it's going to make me feel nice and cold. So take care, drink lots of fluids, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.